Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is going to be my top 5, bottom 5 with all of my Lisa Eldridge bullet lipsticks. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my Lisa Eldridge bullet lipsticks. I've done a top 5, bottom 5 style video for a while now about many different topics, and this is definitely a topic I would like to keep rolling into 2025 as well. So stay tuned if you like this kind of video concept, but I have decided to change it up ever so slightly for 2025, and I realized that one thing I haven't done yet is to talk about my favorite Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. What shades do I reach for the most? Which ones do I reach for the least? I've never done a video like that. I've talked about Lisa Eldridge top 5, bottom 5 style. For sure, I've done that twice already, but I've been focusing on the types of product and not like the shades within the lipstick range. I do have videos up where I put all of these Lisa Eldridge lipsticks onto my lips, so I'll make sure to list the final one I did over the summertime for you in the description box. So if you want to see all, what is it, 42, 45 bullet lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge going onto my lips in one video, then you can. So I'll definitely show you that. But today we're just going to be doing a little bit of a swatcheroo with these. So let me get talking to you about my top 5, bottom 5 Lisa Eldridge bullet lipsticks. Before we get into the video, my microphone cut out right as I was sitting down to film this video. So this is the only time I have to film. So if the audio is a bit weird, I do apologize. But yeah, let's do the worst, least favorite, least worn Lisa Eldridge lipstick colors for sure. We're gonna start with the bottom 5. And if you've been here, you know exactly what I do reach for because I share with you every single month when I do a Shop My Stash. I show you exactly what lipsticks I've been wearing, and my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks show up in my Shop My Stashes a lot. And they're just like, but there's only a few shades I reach for the most, so those are always making an appearance. These I hardly ever reach for. Here we have Velvet Intrigue. So this is from the Velvet range, which is the lightest shade in the Velvet range, actually. Here's what the bullet looks like. A lot of the very light nudes that Lisa Eldridge does are just far, far, far too brown for me. This is also too light. I mean, it's okay. I'm pretty sure that if I were to use this with a lip liner, I could probably make it work, but do you just look at how peachy that looks on the back of my hand. It pulls a bit too orange, and a lot of these very light nude shades that the line has to offer from any of the different lipstick ranges is having that issue. So that's why there's quite a few of those kind of shades in here. Let me try to find them. This is the one from the Insanely Saturated collection. So this is Sunday Matinee, and you can see how little I've used this. Like, this looks absolutely unused because I don't reach for it. I don't reach for it. This is perhaps a little bit more pink. These lipsticks are very cold because it's very cold in my house at the minute. So I'm trying not to break them because, as you'll find out in a second, I have definitely broken some of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks because if they get too cold and you twist them up too far, they can break off pretty easily. But here is what Sunday Matinee looks like. And as you can see, Velvet Intrigue looks absolutely orange right next to it. This is a little bit more pinky toned, but I just like the more intense, colorful shades so much more from the Insanely Saturated. That's what the line was built for, in my opinion, to have high impact, almost neon lipstick shades like Strawberry Shock or Rainbow Spill, Skyscraper Rose I love New Wave. So I love all the other shades in the range, but this just seems like a weird outlier. Like, I don't know, it's like almost as if they felt obligated to put a neutral toned lipstick in this lipstick range to get people to buy it, because I think most people will buy nude lipsticks, but not like an ultraviolet one. But New Wave is my favorite of the Insanely Saturated, together with Skyscraper Rose. And then in here, I also have the other nude. This is Le Mépris. I also could have selected Je ne sais quoi. This is from the Luxuriously Lucent range. And this this really doesn't look good on me. I know that on camera, colors can be a little bit difficult to see for you guys, but in real life, also because this is more of that sheer creamy formula that the brand has to offer. Oh my word, even on the back of my hand, look at how orange that looks. No, just no. I don't reach for things like this. It doesn't work for me. It's too light because of the sheerness. A lot of the purple tones that I have naturally going on in my lips will shine through and it throws the color off completely. So this is not something I ever reach for. I just bought it for the review. I'm not gonna lie. Another luxuriously lucent then, this is Dance Card. This is one that I've shown you before in a bottom 5 Lisa Eldridge range, I think. I just don't love corals on me. For the same reason why I don't like any of these nudes on me. Dance Card is essentially a coral, and I used to love coral on myself. In my 20s, I had a lot of coral tone lipsticks that I would wear on the regular. I would wear them so often. But Dance Card is also like really leaning towards the peachy side of a coral. Like corals are a mix of orange and pink, and some corals, like Impassioned from MAC, which is essentially a coral, pulls more pink. But most corals on the market pull more orange. And this is just far too orange for me, which is why I don't enjoy it. And finally, another velvet here, and this is Velvet Dragon. This is such a special shade in terms of lipstick. I mean, I've tried a lot of lipstick in my day, like a lot of ranges that I've selected shades from. I've gone into store and swatched them on the back of my hand, and I've been swatching complete lipstick ranges from Essence and Catrice for the past 5 or 6 years. I know my lipstick shades. I know that a shade like Velvet Dragon is nowhere to be found. No brand does anything like it, save for Lisa Eldridge. Which is why, because it is so unique, I don't want to knock it. But similar to the reason of why I don't like the other shades, it's too orange for me. And where I love Velvet Morning, and I still like a bit of Velvet Cinnabar, this, it just makes me look ill. It's apparently inspired by like the red of, I think, Chinese temples. I believe that was the inspiration behind this shade. And I think this is a really pretty lipstick on someone with warm skin. If you have warm skin, this is going to look lovely on you. On me, it looks okay. I have a more neutral undertone. I tend to prefer cool tones on myself, hence the more cool tone look that I'm wearing today. But I definitely feel like the Lisa Eldridge lipstick range is quite warm overall. If you're a true cool undertone, you're probably going to struggle finding some shades, especially in the nude category. There are only a handful of lighter pinks, things like Rosy Shell and Velvet Beauty, that have a true purpley blue base to them. Even something like Velvet Carnival is still pretty warm toned compared to other bright pinks I have in my collection. In the reds, you can find anything because Lisa Eldridge reds are really good and they come in a bunch of different undertones. That's where the line truly shines in terms of like offering cooler tones. But in the nude category, there isn't much going on at all. But yeah, here is my bottom 5 from Lisa Eldridge in the Bullet lipstick range. Which brings me to the top 5 of my Bullet lipstick range. And now I need to figure out, yeah. Let's start here, because I just mentioned these lipsticks breaking, and now of course I don't know which one is which, but I wanted to show you because I got a new velvet ribbon, but just so you know that this is one of my most worn lipsticks. I've put it back in. I can't use it because it keeps breaking off, but I can still show it to you in a video, but you can see how absolutely mangled this thing looks. It broke off while I was swatching it. I twisted it up too far, and it was a bit colder as well that day, and it just broke clean off. I've tried melting it down and putting it back in, putting it in the freezer. I've tried everything I can to put this lipstick back together, which is another reason why it's in a right state. And then I was like, you know what? I can't be bothered, so let me just buy a fresh one. So this is what Velvet Ribbon looks like when it is not being manhandled from me being bad at swatching. So Velvet Ribbon is the classic very blue toned red that Lisa Eldridge has to offer. It is a pillar box red. I put this on, it instantly puts a smile on my face. This lipstick makes me happy. Yeah? If you've never experienced this, I have it strictly only with red lipstick. No other makeup product does this. I put a red lipstick on and it instantly lifts my spirit. If I feel down that day, whack on a red lip and I feel instantly more confident. So, and this is the red that I choose to wear in situations like that. So Velvet Ribbon is really good. I haven't been really wearing a lot of red lipstick in like the past year. I definitely need to get back into it again in 2025. Since we're on the category of reds, I wasn't sure which other red I wanted to put in here because I love Velvet Jazz. But of the newer lipsticks that came out later, Velvet Duchess made it very high up the list. This is another cooler tone red. It is deeper and it has a hint of berry to it, so it has a very purpley undertone. It's great for those vampy vibes, but it's not so dark that it clashes too much with my skin tone, where it no longer looks right for me. So Velvet Duchess is another favorite of mine for sure, and this was an instant hit when I tested it out. So let me swatch it for you next to Velvet Ribbon. Here it is. So that's Ribbon and that's Duchess, and you can just see how much more purple Velvet Duchess actually is compared to Ribbon. Ribbon is more of a true red. Duchess leans a little bit more berry. And this is so funny because Velvet Jazz initially became a favorite of mine because I have been on the hunt for years for a red that was deeper than a classic red, but that didn't have that berry undertone. Very hard to find because a lot of brands, whenever they deepen up a red, they will add plum or they will add like a purpley tone. So there weren't enough like dark red, so that's why Velvet Jazz is still a very solid favorite of mine. It's like an honorable mention, but I'm currently like going in between Velvet Duchess and Velvet Jazz as like my other favorite red from the line. Some nudes then, or at least nudes, things that I use as a nude. I don't think this is going to be a nude for everyone, but this is Luxuriously Lucent, and this is in the shade Painterly. This is one that I use a lot in the spring-summer season, especially because of the formula. That's when I start reaching for the Luxuriously Lucents a little bit more than I do the Velvets. The Velvets are more of a fall-winter thing for me. And Painterly is a really pretty, how should I describe this shade? It's a red, it's a purple, and it's a brown at the same time. It does all three things. It does all three things all at the same time. So I really love it on me because I have a slight purple undertone. I feel it pulls on the purple even more than it does on the back of my hand. So it looks even better and it looks a lot more cool toned on me than perhaps on some other people. If you don't have very pigmented lips, this may not be for you, but for me, this is a great neutral and it goes with everything. But my favorite and my most worn nude lipstick from Lisa Eldridge, at least I wear it as a nude, is Velvet Muse. And this is what would have happened to my Velvet Ribbon if it hadn't broken down. I've twisted it up all the way, just so you know. It is just a nub that I have left. And recently I saw some comments because I was wearing it in a video and people were saying, wow, Velvet Muse pulls very brown on you. And I'm like, yeah, because it's got a lot of warmth to it. I'm very excited actually because I think, I haven't decided yet, but I want to buy like a luxuriously like makeup product for myself as like a Christmas present towards the end of the month. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to buy the new refillable lipstick she came out with because she says that she's put cool tones in. And there are 2 shades that are currently still in stock that are labeled as cool tones, and I just want to see what they would look like on me if they are actually cool toned. But this on me, I would say, is more of like a rosewood kind of shade. So it definitely has a lot of brown, but then it also has quite a bit of pink. And I kind of think of it as rosewood in my brain. On the back of my hand, I think you can see a hint of something like pinky purple running through it, but it definitely pulls more brown, especially compared, like, depending on what I'm wearing, colors never look the same. Like, colors change depending on what you put next to them, and also lighting comes into play. But if I wear a really warm toned look, I feel that this pulls a bit more warm toned. But if I'm putting it next to cooler shades, it can actually look a little bit more cooler as well. So it has a bit of both, but I definitely think it looks more brown. It's not as orange as these things are though. So can you see the difference with the ones on the top? That this has a little bit more of a mutedness to it, and it's not as warm as the things I don't like, but it's definitely on the warmer side, and you can definitely see that. And in a similar vein, ever since I got this one, because it is more cool toned, I like it a bit more than I do Muse. This is Velvet Sorcery, and this is like Velvet Muse's deeper cousin, you could say. They're very similar. This just has more depth, and I feel it has a bit more purple running through it. So here is what Velvet Sorcery looks like, and I tend to alternate between these two. I'm currently really into my Velvet Muse sort of moment, but if I want to deepen it up, then I'll go Velvet Sorcery. And you can definitely tell that this, compared to Velvet Muse, has a little bit more purple to it for sure. So what I like to do sometimes as well, if I want a more neutral look, I'll wear Velvet Sorcery, but then I'll blot down most of it so that it looks a little bit lighter on my lips. That's been working quite well for me as well. So here is my full top 5, bottom 5 from Lisa Eldridge. This is the bottom 5 and this is the top 5. And this way you can really see what I tend to like. And I think it all, like all of my favorites are like all in a pretty similar vein now that I look at them all together here on the back of my hand. I still really love and adore my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. However, at the end of 2024, I was definitely feeling like I would want to try some more things. I think also because Lisa Eldridge hasn't been coming out with new shades in these ranges. So for me, it's like, okay, we now have those refillable lipsticks, and we have the Velveteens, which I reviewed for you earlier in the year. We got those lip balm kind of things. So we're still getting lip products. It's just not extensions of the Luxuriously Lucent's True Velvets and Insanely Saturateds, which is what I would have preferred rather than getting new formulas, because those new formulas, the Velveteens and the Balm Embrace, I've liked, but I haven't loved them as much as I do these things for sure. So yeah, I do really enjoy the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks again, but I think I just got curious after some other lipsticks, which you will have seen in my recent haul if you've watched that, because there hasn't been anything new that came out in these ranges. Oh well, so thank you so very much for watching this video today. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite Lisa Eldridge lipstick is. I would love to know. And then for now, I would like to thank you so very much for being here. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more by me. I make several videos every single month. I make several videos every single week, so if you'd like to stay tuned for more, and then I hope to see you in my next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.